All right. Good night. Another time. Yanni. Late night video blog / how to. Sat down to look at making a fairy ring PCG tonight. Pretty easy. Not too bad. We'll walk through the steps real quick, and I'll show you some cool stuff. So first things first is you need to make a blueprint actor, right? So go ahead and right click blueprint, and then you'll pick actor. I've already got one. I downloaded these mushrooms from Quixel Bridge Megascan. If you don't know where that is, click here, go to Quixel Bridge, go in there, type in mushroom. This one's called red spotted, I think, but the actual name is Amanita muscaria. I've done a little bit of mycology research, so I've renamed my assets to the actual mushroom type. But once you've made your blueprint, you're going to come in there and you're going to add a spline component and a PCG component to this menu here. When you add your spline component, I went ahead and made a circle. You can get to that by clicking on one of your verts and going to spline generation panel and picking a circle. I moved mine so my origin is the middle of the circle, because I figured that'll be the best for actor placement, because I'd rather just place the center of the thing. And then I also went ahead and, I want to say, turned off tick by default and a few other things like that. Yeah. Oh, I meant to. Guess it didn't happen. So, I'm glad it did. Alright. Time to save. That just makes your thing more expensive. And then, once you get your PCG, you're going to go make a PCG graph. So, you'll right click and type in PCG. And then you'll click graph and you'll type in make a graph. I call both of mine mushroom fairy ring, because I'm making a mushroom fairy ring. Once you make that, go ahead and plug it in here. Now over to the actual graph. Very, very simple. We're going to add a get spline data node with an actor filter of self. Since we're inside an actor, it's inside a blueprint actor, it's going to grab this spline and presumably any other splines you have. So you might need to do some component tags if you want to get real damn fancy. With multiple splines doing different kinds of things, etc., etc. But then we're going to get a spline sampler. I'm using onSpline, and I'm using distance. And then I have picked this magic number that works well for the assets I'm using. In the future, I'd love to do something cool like find the average bounding box of all of the assets in the asset mesh selection, but I'm not doing anything fancy like that yet. But taking this distance increment, passing it in through as an input, and it finding that, and the blueprint on construction or whatever, parsing over your static mesh array, gathering your bounds, and then taking your X and Y bounds, and then averaging them or taking the biggest one from your list and then plugging that in automatically so it'll automatically size. I think that would be cool. Maybe with some padding or something like +1 or plus some percentage. I don't know. Anyhow, that'll be for another day. Then we're going to grab our landscape data. And nothing fancy you got to do on here. That's just work for me. And then we're going to do a projection down onto, I wonder if the project scales is going to, anyhow, down onto target We're going to take that output, convert it to points. We're going to transform the points. This is just some, you know, a little bit of offset so that I don't have a super perfect circle, right? And some offset into the ground because I want to sink the bulbs of these amanitas a little bit further down. And some rotation, a little waggle, a little spinning. And we're going to also have some scale. So some of these mushrooms can be up to 50% bigger than the base mesh. Once we do that, we're going to spawn our static meshes. Come in here with mesh entries, and you're going to add a bunch or one or however many. I have also done some weighting on these because I want certain looks to show up more than others. I like these two the best. I like this one the least, but I still want it there. That's the big curved one, and it's sort of obvious when it's in there too much. I haven't gone through and done really nice tuning on these. This would be another thing that would be nice to be able to plug the weights in based on some metadata, so that as I use these things in multiple kinds of PCGs, I can have the same kind of rule set supply. And then yeah, that's basically it. And then you just come in here and drag a dang thing in, and you get some mushrooms, right? And even if you drag it up, they still snap to the ground, which is totally cool. I think I want to play around with growing mushrooms on a stump here later. I wish I had some oyster mushrooms or something for something like that. I need some kind of shelf fungus. Over here, I drop one in, and then I just drug the points out to make it bigger, so that this guy sort of starts in a little fairy ring here. Yeah. Hope you enjoyed it. Hope you have a great night. Thanks for watching, and toodaloo.